Good morning. I'm Terry, and welcome to TARDIS Spider. Today we look at the Seventh Doctor story, Ghostlight, the last episode to ever be filmed. Survival was the last episode broadcast, but the last story filmed was Ghostlight. And we are also going to recommend the first of our Halloween films. So if you enjoyed today's video, please like, please subscribe. And now, let's look at the story, Ghostlight. Sylvester McCoy as the Seventh Doctor in the story Ghostlight. Who was it that said Earthmen never invite their ancestors round to dinner? To be honest, out of all of the serials in original Doctor Who, this one might be the most confusing. But it is also one of the most wonderful ones I've had the pleasure of watching. There's the right element of creepiness, further exploration of the Ace Seventh Doctor dynamic, though I believe it's a little short at just 3 episodes. The Doctor and Ace find themselves in a creepy mansion back in the latter's hometown of Perryvale, but it's not long before it's established that the house in question is under some kind of creepy control by Josiah Samuel Smith. He has managed to put everyone else living in that house under his control. The Doctor is keen to find out what exactly is going on in this mystery house, but Ace is a lot less enthusiastic about this one. One thing that's a constant with Ace is that, unlike some of her predecessors, the writers here had a great interest in vocalizing her more than ever. It's part of Ace's general appeal. After the largely passive Perry and somewhat annoying Mel, Ace became the kind of companion we'd been seeing in the past. Her thoughts, reactions, and feelings, and more importantly, her own past became paramount in her overall characterization. The final season of Doctor Who gives us 2 serials that were often more Ace's character growth and facing up to her past rather than the Doctor, or even the monsters that inhabited these serials. Ghostlight is the first one that really hit home when halfway through the story it's revealed that Ace has a history with this creepy house. In 1983, Ace had visited this place and felt an evil presence, which obviously scared her enough to openly argue with the Doctor about leaving this mystery well alone. It was also this creepy presence that had Ace burn the place to the ground, so visiting it 100 years prior to her little bout of arson seemed anything but therapeutic. Another plus point for this episode is putting the action into the year 1883 and taking the normally tomboy-dressed Ace and shoving her into a more feminine attire. Sophie Aldred happens to be one of those understated beauties, and Ace is particularly gorgeous in the dress, and she spends most of this serial in it. The real villain of the episode, however, Josiah, is a suitably nasty piece of work. Controlling everyone in the house means that both the Doctor and Ace finds themselves in a battle a few good times. Ace herself even gets to have a bit of a girl fight with both a manipulated Gwendolyn and Mrs. Pritchard, the latter of whom is a calculating madam, to put it mildly. There are many surprises that this serial tends to offer, one of them being the fact that a spaceship is hidden beneath the cellar with something hidden in that. That is later revealed to be an alien that came to Earth to collect various samples, which even included a Neanderthal, but after doing that, the alien in question then decided to slumber. And of course, there are also 2 alien forces in this story, and both of them have their own agendas. Control is the one with its desire to become a lady. With so many twists in this serial, it's almost hard to keep up with everything. The mansion has some sympathetic characters in Gwendolyn, Inspector Mackenzie, and a butler with the name Nimrod, as well as the nasty characters in Mrs. Pritchard, Josiah, and the other alien menace, Light. Well, part of this episode title had to play into things, and having the baddie called Light is a nice enough twist for me. Light kills both Mrs. Pritchard and Gwendolyn after it's revealed that they are mother and daughter. in a failed attempt to stop evolution, and Josiah goes on his own rampage. However, the defeat of both of them feels a little easy compared to all of the complexity that we've had to go through. Smith winds up becoming a prisoner on the alien ship inside the mansion, and Light is bested by the Doctor's emphasis on how futile it would be to try and stop evolution. With both Fen Cooper and Nimrod doing a bit of space exploring, the only other question was Ace facing up to her past history with the house. She doesn't exactly thank the Doctor for placing her in this situation, but she's smart enough to realize that he's got a point, and by the end of the story, she seems to be able to lay her own ghost to rest, so to speak. Now, this story seems to be very confusing, and a lot of stuff was removed in the trimming. In fact, this is one of the few times where a Doctor Who story wasn't quite long enough to get to the point. Confusion aside, this is an exceptional story. Ghostlight has enough creepiness to surpass the somewhat weak-looking monsters and make it both a period setting and incorporating some of Ace's own personal history with that of the mansion, and this only heightens the stories. So, do you believe this story to be a confusing mess or a confusing masterpiece? Please leave us a comment and let us know how you feel. For a recommendation this week is from 1963, The Old Dark House, starring Tom Poston and Robert Morley. A used car salesman in England is invited to spend the night in an old mansion by an eccentric customer. This story is based upon a play by J.B. Priestley, who was also responsible for bringing An Inspector Calls to the stage, upon which 3 movies have been made, and the last of which is Cannot Miss Television. So watch An Inspector Calls, but do watch the fright comedy film This Old House from 1963. Enjoy your journey through time and space. Take time to be safe, love your friends, love your family, and remember, a child cannot have a favorite book if they do not have one. Give a child a book tonight. Goodbye.